stomach dropped. I had to keep myself from shaking. I wanted to throw up all my emotions into a white paper bag in front of me, and we haven't even taken off yet.
How do full-time employees like us do everything it takes to build a thriving online business today? How do you not become a statistic of another failed business, all while balancing full-time career and life? We don't have all the answers, but we're figuring it out. Welcome to Entrepreneurs with Jobs.
What have I done? Okay, I think it'll be easier just to show.
Oh.
Since we talked about this last time.
Oh, well, so what, I have a slide deck again for today?
No, I don't have a slide deck today. You could do. So Fisayo was surprised that I had a slide deck for the meeting.
He's constantly pressuring me and making me step up my game, which is a good thing. But come on, give us a heads up. So
that's true. I didn't think about it.
All good.
Now we know. We're having a redo though. So
we're having a redo. That's right.
Okay, so I've been messing around with Facebook ads because I never got to do Facebook ads a long time ago. So every business conference, marketing conference, they'd always talk about Facebook strategies, and I would never be able to use them because I was in a high risk business, or that's what they consider high risk. So even for getting a merchant processor, Stripe wouldn't work with us. So for anyone who's in consider a high risk merchant, you have to go with other providers basically. So we had to go with Easy Direct Pay and the application process took a month, or it took 3 weeks to be able to get all the data and all the paperwork for them to approve us, because they're afraid that you're a high risk business and then that they get a lot of complaints.
I see.
So for Facebook, they didn't want to. The process of getting approved as a provider takes a long time.
Okay.
As a dating provider, so but long story short, I never got to experiment with Facebook ads.
Now you have.
Now I am looking into it because I haven't done Facebook ads in a while. One time I did Facebook ads a long time ago. My ad account got banned.
Oh.
Yeah, because my friend was going into this water multi-level marketing thing where his friends took what we've learned inside digital marketing and then applied it to network marketing. And then they're killing it. They're making $20,000 to $40,000 a month. My friend was, but they built this back end of $250,000 system. I came in, I was like, okay, let me just test this out and see what it's like. And then I got my ad account banned.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So here, I've been experimenting with, okay, if I did nothing, all I did was use my Facebook, just post the video. So that's one of our videos. If I just go in here and I did a control. So this is the first control, I guess. This is the one. The first one is this one. So this was just a YouTube link going back to my Facebook page, and then all I did was just take a quote and then link to YouTube, link to podcast. Did nothing else. Did it change the thumbnail, the headline, which is a normal headline, and this is how many people were reached. This is how many engagements.
Wow.
And then this is how many people liked and loved it. So this was just a control of me. Okay, let me put in the minimal amount of effort so I can get a benchmark of what my ad will cost and what I can get. Right now, all I'm doing is trying to get awareness, and this I think cost me about $30 in total. Yeah. So this was just for brand awareness, and the reason why I'm doing brand awareness is trying to make warm leads, basically. Because if you think about it as a relationship, there's a lot of people that are going at it as oh, I hate all these ads too. look at me making $2 million in over 3 years. Come and join, click the link and join. Think of how you can do the same thing. I've been seeing those ads way too much. And one of the things you want to do, so they're it's working. So that's one of the reasons why they're doing it. Because I had a friend do the same thing, or I had an acquaintance do the same thing that I met like at this marketing convention. He rented a Lambo, and he didn't say that he owned the Lambo. He rented a Lambo, and then he had like a good offer. It was in the same multi-level marketing thing, and then that's when he started like making like 20,000-40,000. Now he has like his own luxury car business. But it would start off with like faking it, which I don't approve of. I think it's like unethical, but yeah, there's a reason why people do it. Yeah. So
So how do you assess the outcome of this? The ad is this one, this ad that you put up. How do you assess?
This one? This one I messed up on. So this is the reason why I'm showing this one. Is the reason? So one of the systems I learned a long time ago was, okay, you need to create a warm audience. So they need to know, like, trust you. And one of the ways that they do that is you find the people who either like it or who have watched over 50% of the video. Because this goes directly to YouTube. I did get some followers off of this, like maybe 2 or 3, but because this goes directly to YouTube, this doesn't show who watched it more than 50% because it wasn't native to the platform. So that that was a learning experience because I didn't know about that. So I had to start posting actually
directly into Facebook.
Yeah. So I'd upload to YouTube, and then I'd have to create like
upload to
Facebook, but it's a square video. So that's why you see it's a little cut off right here because I didn't completely adjust it.
Okay.
Yeah, but this one's not boosted. And then the next one is this one. This one's boosted. So this one, I think. So I added. So now from the control, okay, I made the intro just a little bit. I took stock footage from Canva without having to pay anything extra because I was already paying for that monthly, and then added the subtitles, how you see like a lot of people do that. And then I wanted to see if that would change things. So now here's how many more people, here's the through plays, and now I'm waiting to see how many people actually watch this all the way through, and then experimenting with this. Yeah, this is new. Oh. This was boosted on April 24, so that was 2 days ago. So the test is running right now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now I want to go see your ad.
And the thing that is actually taking off right now is not even a video ad. So now, because I've been following the Gary V model.
Yes, we know you've been following the Gary V model.
But it's also the Peng Joon model.
How much is Gary V paying you to plug his model?
But he's not the only one I follow because I'm also in like a monthly like digital marketing coaching group as well. With Peng Joon, he's the one who has like I think it's like an $18 million business. He's doing the same thing. So it's like a mix of both of their strategies. But I posted this yesterday. And I probably only paid like a few dollars on this already, maybe like not that much, but it's already got 4 likes. 2 people have shared it, and I think it's because of the image. And it's basically a quote card. So here, I was just going through the motions when I was creating all the micro content from like all our stuff. So I basically took the transcript, use otter.ai. It's like a free platform up to 40 minutes. It's one of the best transcription platforms I've ever seen. And you can play the audio and get the transcript at the same time. So I used that. I created a bunch of different quote cards based on what we said on only one podcast. It takes a lot of work to make all this micro content.
But then it pays off once you have it done. Yeah.
And then this one was just, I was going on Canva, selecting all my favorite templates, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to take all my favorite templates and then put in the quotes, And then there was a few extra templates, and I was like, okay, let me just make quotes off the top of my head, based off what I'm feeling right now. So then this was just one of them. It's like, would you regret not doing it? Then do it. So this is a stock image from Unsplash. So this is copyright free. So you can use this for commercial. And then this is my branded like signature, because I've just been copying what other people have been doing to see if that works. And then this is a story. And this is actually how I got one of the biggest dating gigs, becoming like a dating coach for like a live training program. And then basically I enter in with the regret is a powerful motivator. And then I talk about my experience as a dating coach, and then how I flew out to Las Vegas, and it was like one of the most nerve-wracking experiences that I've ever had. Because it's the biggest live trading dating company in the world at that time. They've actually transitioned into something different, and they don't even offer these types of services anymore. Actually, I don't think so, because of the climate that we're in right now. And they were getting a lot of heat too. So I was just talking about this, and I talked about how my stomach dropped. I had to keep myself from shaking. I wanted to throw up all my emotions into a white paper bag in front of me, and we haven't even taken off yet. I'm not a nervous or anxious person, but the pressure felt immense. It was the uncertainty, it was the unknown, it was the doubts if I could provide any value to the students. What did they want to see from me exactly? So that was like a little bit of the piece of that moment. So I put in a story because it's more engaging, and yeah, people are sharing this. People are sharing this right now.
Nice.
Yeah, here. Yeah, you can't see it because it's blocked by the Zoom.
No, I can see it.
Oh, you can see it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So here. So that's what I've been testing out with, just micro content, boosting it with just the minimum amount of money. This is just boosted with $5. And then, so from whatever's boosted, whatever seems to take off and does well,
you get that intelligence, then you can boost
I'll boost
more.
it even more. Yeah. But all of this is just initial testing. And then even with this, I tried to link this to my Badass Confidence podcast, but Facebook doesn't like profanity. So I got rejected. So what I did, and what I recommend for everybody, is to go into the Facebook Business Help Center and then start to read the advertiser guidelines to see. Because even with this, they say that this is a low quality ad, and I don't know why. So I tried to reach out to the Facebook support page to figure out what's going on. But that's what
a lot of text. Is it text? Could that be it?
No, it's not the text. It says like low quality is considered like clickbait. The landing page doesn't match, and something else. Or withholding information. So I don't think I did any of that. So I tried to reach out to them. So we'll see what they said. Because I'm trying to be in Facebook's good standings. I don't want to get my ad account hit.
Interesting. Cool. All right.
So that's what I've been doing. So this is all my little stats right here.
Yeah, I mean, I know the ad world can be very overwhelming and just a lot. So I'm glad you're at least, taking a stab at that and learning, and that's the only way you grow. So you'd be wiser for it. So that's good.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. And then since we talked about having visuals, I was like, okay, I'll just show you instead of telling you. So anybody who's watching or listening can come to we're hosting on my YouTube channel for now, because managing multiple channels is hard.
I know. Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm glad to see you've been productive. That's awesome. I also have been productive.
That's good.
Yes. I think last time we talked, I think I'd said that I wanted to. One of the things I committed to doing was that I was going to start waking up, at a certain time, and start, devoting a specific time of the day, to the business. I did do that part of the week, not the whole week, so I was only partially successful. But the time that I did dedicate to the business, where it's like, okay, this is what I'm going to work on, I accomplished so much. Nice. It was really mind blowing for me. So uh, what did I do? So first of all, I sort of the first thing I did was brain dump. So all the things that I've been carrying in my head for the last however many weeks, I just like, put them down, in a to-do list, and kind of like organize them and level up priority and put timelines for each of them. And then the next thing I did was, one of the things that I've been wanting to do during the season is to sort of optimize my website to some extent. So I get very intimidated when it comes to my website because, I'm no coder, I'm no IT person. So everything that I do is like a lot of effort. But I mean, I can usually figure it out eventually. So one of the things I did was, one of the things I've been wanting to do was set up a Pinterest account, a Pinterest business account. Because what I do is very visual. It's clothes, colors, and all that. So I did do that. I set up a Pinterest account, and then I also then made it sort of tie Pinterest to my website, whereby you can now, whenever you see a picture on my website, you can save it to your Pinterest board. So which also helps with providing more visibility to the brand. So now it took me some time because I had to actually like make code updates. Like I had to like go copy like pieces of code and like go into the back end of the website and like paste it in there. It's a little scary. At some point I like messed up the checkout where you couldn't check out because I pasted the code in the wrong place. So but I was able to like revert my changes, and then I did it again. And I would never have done something like that because I'm like, I don't know all these like symbols and all these texts. Like I wouldn't typically mess with that. But it took me some time. YouTube definitely was a resource.
Yeah.
But I eventually did it, and I got it done, and I felt really good that I was able to do that. So that was one thing I did. The other thing I also did was that I've also wanted to do for a while was to put like a live chat box in my website. So whereby when people come on, they can like, chat with me if they have any questions. So I also was able to set that up. And the company that I used was, because I tried a couple, and then, hold on a second. Let me see the name of the company I used. Maybe I'll tell it. No, hold on.
I have a friend who has a auto dismantling business. She basically, she got it to the point where it's basically automated, and she makes a pretty good living, and then she just goes rock climbing whenever she feels like it, or she doesn't feel like coming to the office. She just Netflix and chills.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Living life.
Yeah.
So what the app that I use is called Tidio, Tidio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I tried another one first, but then I like Tidio because you can set like, you can specify the time that you want to be active, because you don't want people like, try to chat with you like, yeah, when you're sleeping. So you can set that, and then I like the fact that people don't have to. The first one I tried, people had to actually give their email addresses for them to engage. I don't like that. Like I feel like people should be able to engage with you without having to give their email. If they have a question, they have a question. So yeah, this doesn't require them to do anything. They can just type in the chat box, and then I would get the message. And then the other cool thing about it too is it's a little bit stalkerish, or kind of like creepy in a sense. But like whenever anyone comes on the website, I would know. Like I would get like an alert, like codes 23456 you have a new visitor on the site, and this is the page that they're on and that they're looking at this point in time.
Hey, that's awesome. Did you Pixel yet? Did you install a Facebook Pixel? Did you install a Facebook Pixel yet?
Oh no, was I supposed to? Let me make a note of that. No.
Yeah. So this is how companies follow you and create ads. This is what I'm going to do eventually. But since you have a already up and running business, this is how we fix sales processes, because you have your abandoned cart email sequence, but if they're not even there, they only see a product page and they never enter their email at any point, you can't really retarget those people, right? But if you have a Facebook pixel, it'll be able to tell you which pages they exited off of. Now you can retarget those specific people and then create specific content that retarget those people, whether it's testimonials from existing customers. Maybe they were on their order cart and they just needed an extra push. Maybe they just forgot and they got busy. They just left it there. You can create different images, different product details. Maybe they were on a specific product page, or maybe
essentially create content that like sort of like meets that prompts them, or based on where they left off, create like specific content to
specific
target
ads.
them.
Specific ads.
Yeah, I
And
haven't
then,
done that, but I will look into that, making a note of, I have
yeah,
my list of like
things there. That's good.
things to do, like little like apps and like resources to get into and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
because the fixing your marketing funnel and your sales process, the fixing the leaks is one of the biggest and lowest hanging fruit that you can do, because they've already come to your page and they were
they're already
looking.
warm leads. The fact that they even went to your page shows that they are interested.
Yeah.
So they're the people you wanna reach.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. Yeah, it's a lot, but I'll look
Yeah,
into
yeah,
that.
it is a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, I did that. And then the other thing that I also did, so we've been talking about like your personal brand,
Yes.
how it's important to build that. And one of the ways that I've been, one of my goals was to continue to do like podcasts and things like that, like be a guest speaker on other people's
Oh,
podcasts.
nice. You did outreach?
So I made an outreach, my first one. I'm just like, I think I was just like, it was like 11 p.m. Then I'm gonna do it tonight. I'm gonna send this person an email. I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna do it. It's not a huge podcast or anything, but I don't care really. Like,
You need to
the short of
just
it
build
is,
up your platform. Yeah.
exactly. So the short of it is, the person got back to me and said yes, they wanted me to come be a guest speaker on the podcast. And this podcast actually featured other like African American entrepreneurs or business owners who are actually way more successful than I am. So I wasn't really even sure if she was gonna like want me to come, but I feel like my story is relatively compelling and unique enough that I can see the value,
Yeah. You
regardless
have a
of my
y-
business size.
yeah, you have a great story. It helps out the community in Nigeria. And you also have a unique story in that you're an entrepreneur with a job. So that's another unique angle. And you
Mhm.
also now have a platform that you're hosting. So we have the in-person meetups, and then you were podcasting about this. And you'd be surprised
Exactly.
of how many opportunities open up when you have your own platform. People are
I
so
think
much
so.
more like, they're like, oh wow, they have their own podcasts. They take you a lot more seriously. That's why I've noticed when I didn't have a podcast, and when I started the dating podcast a long time ago, people were like, oh, you already have this many episodes. You're like, oh shit, you're legit.
Yeah, I agree. And to be honest, even I feel some level of confidence because I feel like I have a lot in my pocket. Like I have a lot of things that I can dip into. Like, I mean, I have of course, I have a regular full-time job, which is good.
And you're doing well. You're
I'm
you're
doing
you're
well.
a rock
Yeah,
star at your corporate job too. So
that's right.
that's
Tell
like
him,
the other
Jeff,
thing
you're
too.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. I listen to Fisayo on these meetings. I'm like, yeah, yeah, handle that, Fisayo.
I tell him.
Yeah, you tell him.
So I really, going to the woman, like honestly, I was confident that, that she probably would want to hear from me because, like I said, I feel like my package is relatively unique,
Very.
so yeah. So that I'm doing the podcast on, I think sometime this week, Thursday or so. We're gonna be, chatting, and I'm not gonna lie to you. After the whole like Ryan Seacrest thing, and like, it kind of goes back to the whole thing we talk about just doing it, just doing the damn thing. Like
Yeah.
doing the damn thing will like give you confidence like you cannot imagine. Like I like to talk, but to be honest, I do get a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit shy, when I'm like put on the spot. But all these, just doing our podcast, for instance, I mean, this is like nothing for me, but like still, it's a way to talk. And like
Yeah.
even our meetup, the fact that we actually like leading up to our meetup event, I was a little bit anxious, as you know, but you
Just
know
a
what?
little,
The fact that I
just
was
a
able to
tad.
like little but the fact that we even did it, I mean, granted, we didn't get a chance to do it the way we wanted to completely do it, but like we did something.
Yeah.
Just that little bit of experience gave me like some kind of like internal like calm, like, I got this, I can do this, like I got this. So yeah, and I feel relatively at ease going into this interview with this person. So I'm really excited about it, and I'm just I'm glad that I'm finally doing it, and I know this is going to be like the first of like many that I'm going to be doing, and I just have to just do the work of making the outreach and making them aware of me and what I'm doing, and I'm sure they would want me to come speak. So
Yeah, see, that's awesome. Because you never know
yeah,
who's listening. Just like your Voyage LA article, it led into the
exactly.
Ryan Seacrest. Like, even if there was only, say, 100 people who saw it at that time, but one of those people was somebody from that show, from the Ryan Seacrest show, that got you that opportunity. You never
Exactly.
know where something's going to lead.
Exactly. And you never know when. you might feel like, oh, this is crap. Like there's like no value in this, or I just wasted my time. But you never know. Like I have learned about like never undervaluing an opportunity. Like don't ever look down on anything. Cause like I said, even that Voyager Lay one, I didn't want to do it for many months. Like I sat in my inbox for like a couple of months. I didn't do it. But when I eventually did it, I'm glad I didn't like half-ass it. Like I went all in for that article. Like I've seen some other ones where other people have done, and it's like very like, just like, it's just meh. But like I took my time and really, I took it very seriously when I did do it, and look what it led to. So that's just, one of the lessons we keep telling ourselves is just, just keep at it. When you do it, you learn, you get better, and you don't know what doors it might, open for you. With everything going on with the corona, as you all know, my business is all our work is done in Nigeria. And with everything going on with the corona crisis, there's a big problem in Nigeria in the sense of people are unable to earn income to buy food. So they're, the poverty situation is like exacerbated. How do you say that word? But
exacerbated.
Exacerbated by the corona situation, because people can't go out, people can't, go to, get their daily wages. Most people rely on daily wages, and now that they're home, they can't get that, and people are like really in the trenches. And so I started this initiative last week, actually, it's called Feeding Our People, to raise money to buy food packs for families in Nigeria, and each food pack is like can feed a family of 5 for up to a week, and it costs about $20. So I've been doing that. We're able to raise about $2,600 in the past week since we started, and we're now going about like they're already buying the food, so they're going to start like packing them up, and early this week, early next week, or the week we're in, they're going to start packing them up and dispersing them. And when the idea to do the food drive came, honestly, it was just like because I know things are tough for a lot of people in light of the situation, and I've been wanting to do something, and I just didn't really have a clear channel on how to go about it. And then I thought, why don't I start this? Why don't I put it together using the resources that I have, at my disposal to get this going? It was literally that morning I like came up with like some like random flyer on Canva, and like just put it out there, and I'm like, let me just put it out there and see what happens. Like, it's not perfect, I'm gonna get questions, but I'll figure it out. But then the fact that $2,500, $2,600, or even more than that by now, that's pretty substantial.
Yeah.
In the fact that I didn't even really I hadn't put a lot of thought into it, and I told myself, I'm just going to do it. Like, I'm not going to wait until it's perfect. I'm not going to wait until I have it all figured out or have some kind of like registered foundation. I'm just going to start, and like, let's see where this leads. If all I can help is, 30 families, 20 families, that's still something. So kind of goes back to the whole lesson of just, just doing the damn thing.
Yeah.
So I think we need to make that into a quote.
Yeah,
do the damn thing.
I'm gonna make that into a quote card. Here, just point at the camera right now. And it's gonna be at the top. It's gonna be do the damn thing.
Do the damn thing.
Do the damn thing.
So but yeah, and so, but as I did that, and this is kind of like I said, this was not part of my intent when I initially started to do this. But then over time, I thought, oh my God, this can also add. At the end of the day, Lisa Mama is, one of our drivers, is the social aspect of what we do, and I can see how this also ties to our mission of, doing good. Looking good, but also doing good. And so I thought, I should have this on the website. Like, just sort of part of the things that we're doing as a business to help, support people. So I did create a page on elisamama.com that talks about the initiative, and then also created a way for people to actually donate on the website. So you could, like, if you wanted to donate to the cause, you can also do that through the website.
What's the website? So you can plug it in right now. So if they're interested.
It's elisamama.com. So it's elisamama.com, and then there's a drop down that takes you to the Feeding Our People COVID-19 initiative or relief. So yeah, if you want to support, we're gonna keep doing this as long as we have people donating. We're just gonna keep going and keep trying to provide, our people with as much food packs as we can. So yeah, and then so one of my other goals was, is also to did I tell you that I was going to reach out to like
Influencers?
publishers and like
Yeah.
writers.
You said you're gonna do some influencer outreach.
Yeah, not influencers. No, I said I was gonna do like writers and like
Oh,
publications
I
and
don't
stuff.
think you specified who. You just said you're gonna do outreach.
Okay, well, anyway, I
Oh
did.
no, you said you're gonna do the PR stuff. Yeah, that's what you said last time.
I've done the PR stuff. No, I've been doing the
No,
PR
no,
behind Jam.
PR outreach.
Oh yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
because that
Yeah,
PR
yeah, yeah.
outreach is to advertiser magazines, people who need your content. I remember us talking about that
Exactly.
last time. Yeah.
Yes. So I did follow up on that. I was able to sort of draft like a sort of like an outreach email, talking about, like, okay, well, kind of tying it back into the food program, like, this is a story about how a business in, Southern California is turning a complex situation, the COVID pandemic, into a way to do good for people, in
Nice,
Nigeria.
good angle. Nice, good angle.
So I'm getting better at this, I'm telling you. So that was kind of like my intro, because I mean it's relevant to what's going on now. And then I talk about what's going on in Nigeria and kind of like what we're doing, and told them I think this might be a message that might resonate with the audience, and I would like for them to feature it if they see value in it. So I sort of drafted that, and I reached out to, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 people. I haven't heard back, but you know what? I did it. I did the damn thing.
Yeah.
And if for nothing, at least I have my little template drafted, and I can continue to use that to outreach to other people. So I'm gonna, as we are sort of making progress with the food disbursement, we're gonna be having like pictures and visuals that kind of shows what we're doing. We already have like the bags, and we actually have stickers too that shows Elisa Mama feeding our people. Like that way people know it's like legit, we're doing it, and you can actually see us, our food bags with the Elisa Mama label on it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what will happen with that, but at least I'm working on it, and we'll see.
Oh, nice. So for the people who want to do the same thing, because you said you didn't know you didn't know you're doing, you're just gonna do it. What about people who want to help out like their communities, maybe back in Asia, India, wherever they're affected, Europe? They just want to create some type of foundation to help families as well. What did you do, and like how did you put it together?
So like I said, the idea came to me like that morning, like 7:00. I just went on Canva because I know I needed a visual. To kind of show, because I was going to post it on my socials. So I did that. I did a little flyer, put it on my social media, and while it was on there, I knew I would start getting questions from people, because people want to know, okay, just legit, like what exactly are you doing? I want to share this, but I need to understand what you're doing. I need to know what to tell people when they ask me. So I created like a list of like a sort of like our rules of engagement. So what's the background? What's the situation? What are we trying to do? And then what are we giving them? So within that time, I was able to sort of working with my folks in Nigeria to understand, okay, with this $20, we are able to give, rice, beans, cassava, which is like, call it gari, but it's dried cassava, tomato paste, some fish, just like a variety of food, oil, where they can like, cook like a balanced meal for a week. So I have that listed, and I have my, what's my commitment to, what's the accountability? Accountability is every dime is going towards the purchase and the disbursement of the food, and then my commitment is that I would provide an update every week. So as we make progress, I'll provide an update. So I kind of have like sort of like a list of like 10 things or so that I'm, like the rules that I was able to share with people when they're asking me questions, like, this is what we're about, this is what we're going to do. And I just sort of did, I did that. Like I said, I'd already put out the flyer, and then I went back and did my little rules of engagement when somebody asked me, because like, so what do I tell people? I'm like, give me a second.
Like, let me type this up real quick.
I'm like, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of a meeting. Hold on.
So I did that, and and people just started like, and then I put my Venmo, my PayPal, my Cash App, my Zelle, I put everything, and people just started like, sending money to me. And I had because accountability is very important when you're taking other people's money. So I have a little spreadsheet. As the money's coming in, right away I put it down, the name and the amount, and then of course letting people, thanking people for their contribution. So that's sort of what I did, and that's sort of what I'm doing. I just have my little sheet just to track, and have my list of things, my little info, and then I have the flyer.
And
And
then do
that's
you have your team in Nigeria get the
yes,
food?
I have.
Are you're
Yeah,
buying, they're buying the food there, then
they're
dispersing?
buying the food thing. Yeah. So I mean, the thing about it is, I could have, because there are various organizations that are like giving like food in Nigeria, but the reality is, I don't trust a lot of people. Like, I don't know. I feel like
Yeah,
I'm almost
especially with some
worried.
of those scams. Like you see like headlines of
Yeah.
like charity scams right now.
Yeah, and I don't know, and I feel like for certain organizations, while there might be a value, there's also some overhead that comes with it, and I
Like the
really
salaries.
want exactly, and I really want everything in this instance. I want everything to go to the food and to the people. And I mean, the fact that I have resources on ground that can assist me, affords me this opportunity. But if I didn't, I would have to then use an organization. So that's one of the things people ask me, like, so who are you working with? Are you sure they're gonna, are you sure they're, can you trust them? I'm like, yeah, it's my people. I trust them. I have no worry. And also, I mean, my reputation is on the line, but people know that I've already established myself as someone who cares about Nigeria and the people of Nigeria. So I feel like there's already some level of credibility that I have, that people are more inclined to donate to this cause. I mean, I had somebody give $500,
Oh, nice.
a single person. I didn't even tell them, they heard through somebody else. But they were example of a person that they wanted to help, but they didn't know of a legit channel to help. So now I'm making it possible for them to, to provide this support. So I just have to hold my end of the bargain of, being accountable, making sure I'm, visibility, and just communicating to people how their money is being spent. So, so yeah. So it's on the website. Anyone that wants to support it or donate to the cause, you can. But yeah, it's funny. Like I said, I didn't think about it, and I just last Monday. It's how it happened, and here we are. So
Yeah, and you've already raised nearly $3,000.
20,
Yeah,
yeah, almost
2,600.
$3,000. Yeah, and I have not been pushing it because I wanted to also kind of like using the money we have at first. Let's start. Once we start, and then I can go back and show people that, look, this is what we've done. Then I can then, go back and talk about raising some more money. Yeah, because I don't want to get, I don't want to put myself in a, compromising situation either. So I want to at least show people that this is what we've spent your money on.
Yeah.
And this many people we've helped. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and the one more thing that I did. Listen,
You
I've been
were
on
super
edge.
productive this week.
Listen. I told you, like, I am ready. I am ready. All I needed to do was just like, focus. So, over the past couple of days, I ran into this brand called Mini Dip. I don't know if you've heard about them.
Mini dip?
Mini
No,
Dip.
I have no
Yeah.
idea who they are.
MINNIDIP. Mini Dip
Oh,
is
mini.
mini. Sorry, it's a Nigerian accent. Bear with me. Mini Dip is a company that produces inflatables, like what do you call them? Like
Oh, yeah, like pool inflatables?
the pull inflatable. You've probably seen them. Have
Yeah,
you seen
I've seen
them?
I've seen them at day clubs
Okay.
and night swims.
Okay. You've seen, like, how fancy looking their things are.
Hmm.
And I just started to think. I mean, this is nothing new to me because I know other businesses. Let me back up a little bit. Mini Dip came out, like, I don't know, maybe like a year or two ago. And I look at I'm like, how did they like blow up so quickly? Like, I'm seeing them everywhere. I'm like, I want one for myself. I'm like, sure, I think I need one. I need a Mini Dip in my backyard for my kid, and I saw that this is another example of a business that's almost followed the Away model, where you take something that's very basic, that's very like normal, very like tried and true, and you create this image around it into something, and make it into something that's so desirable and so like special, where everybody wants.
Oh, it's the premium model because there wasn't a premium probably inflatable, so that was missing because that was what was happening inside the luggage brands
For
that
when
everyone hated them. Everyone hated all these luggage brands that were
luggage.
unreliable, and it was a big pain point. So that's what Away did.
Yes, so Away did that. We even have this guy. Oh, what is his name? So Parker, like Walker and Company, a black guy. He does razors, like Bevel.
Yeah.
Tristan Walker of Walker and Company. They just got acquired by Procter and Gamble. this is a guy who does like I said, blades for like African American guys.
Straight blade.
Yeah, shaving blades.
Straight razor. Straight razor.
Razor. I don't know what you call them. Yeah, razors.
Yeah. They're like the long ones, right? The long straight blades.
Yes. So so he did that, and he like elevated razors. I don't know what do you blades. I don't know that thin.
Straight razor.
Yeah, and then you think about like Warby Parker, glasses, and it's like, you start to realize that these are people who are thinking beyond the product.
Yeah, it's the positioning. You have to look at the market. And then they also say it's significantly easier, or not significantly easier, but it's easier to price your things premium, figuring out how to do that, because you're gonna be putting in about the same amount of effort, or even just a little bit more effort to be able to do that. But it's a high return on the time that you're spending.
True. The other aspect too, though, is beyond the fact that it's premium, they're like elevating the value of the brand or the product to the point where it's like you sort of want to be a part of that. Like they're creating this sort of like narrative around the brand and the value that it offers, and you're like, sure, I want to be part of the in club. I also want I want that. If I had to make a choice about which item I want, that's the one I want, because it's like the premium item in that particular category. Whereas the other brands that are there, you don't even know their name. Like, what are they? Like, there's nothing appealing about the brand beyond the product. The value starts and ends on the product. Whereas these other brands have found a way of like elevating the experience to, beyond the product.
Yeah, for a sense of a tribe community that you want to be a part of.
Exactly. And so it hit me, and I'm like, I should totally think about this. Like, what exactly? Because I mean, for me, of course, the products and the clothes important, but it's like, what is the message that I'm giving to people who are partaking in this Alyssa Mama experience? Like, what statement are you making about yourself when you wear Alyssa Mama clothes? And I started to think that I need to be, sort of have clarity around that, around, the essence, what are our values? And I started to think about it, and it started to sort of like, it hit me what it was, and I felt like I needed to like document that, not just like with text, but also with visuals. So I started to put together like a Pinterest board, because now I'm Pinterest, so I started to put together like a Pinterest like vision board of like the Alyssa Mama kid. Like, what is that kid? Like, who is that? What do we represent, even beyond our clothes? And like, and thinking about my daughter, who is my inspiration behind Alyssa Mama, thinking about, the emotions that I want our clothes to evoke. And it finally like kind of came to me. I don't have it fully like defined yet, but I do know that I want, when you're wearing Alyssa Mama represents like, a kid, really a girl, who is like, strong, determined, positive, at the same time kind, and, aware, loves colors, and just I have more words to go behind that, but ultimately that's the message that I want our brand to represent and to stand for, and I'm still figuring it all out, but I'm going to, as I gain more clarity around this, I'm going to now work on the branding, whereby, like, maybe I should even show you what it looks like. Maybe I can also share and show you what my Pinterest board looks like.
Yeah, start sharing so we can use more visuals in this.
Let me show you. So let's see, share my screen.
Yeah, the brand and brand experience is important, because that's what the personal brand does for other businesses as well, because it cements the tribe that you're creating. And then you also probably want to create it not only for the child that's wearing it, but for the mom. What kind of mom?
And that's gonna be my next question. I actually have a question about that.
That's so cool that Zoom lets you share from your phone directly like this. We can see.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
All right. So can you see my vision board?
Yeah, I can see your vision board.
Okay. So I'm just gonna slowly scroll through it. So this is kind of what what I feel in my head when I'm thinking about, Alyssa Mama, the brand. and sort of what we're about. So as you can see, I do have pictures of our clothes, but I also have like, quotes and visuals. So, made to be awesome. Secret and Dolphins.
Do you have your Pinterest account? So you can
I
just
do. This is my Pinterest account.
Do you know what the URL is? So you can just plug it in right now, so people could go into it if they want.
It's Elisa Mama Kids. It's Elisa Mama Kids.
Okay.
It's Pinterest/Elisa Mama Kids.
So go there if you need to look for.
I want to see the Elisa Mama.
Yeah.
So do you sort of get? Do you? What does this tell you? What do you?
It's a fun, bright, like go out there, like strong type of branding.
All right. Yep. So
and
anyway,
fashionable, stylish, hip.
So anyway,
how long does it take you to make all these pins?
It didn't take long. It's just finding them, and then moving them to my board. So this is called the things we love. So it's not just this is called Elisa Mama, then things we love, and so.
Do you have any advice for people who want to get into Pinterest based on what you're learning right now?
I would just say it's very easy, to be honest. You just like obviously I created a Pinterest business account, and then I created a few boards. And one thing is that it's very easy to get trapped into just wanting to create a board of your products, which is what I started to do it initially. But I think Pinterest needs to be beyond just your products. It needs to be like, what's your vibe? What's your essence? Because if people don't want to just come and see a catalog of your clothes, right? Which kind of like, if you can notice here, I mean, I have our clothes in here, but I also have like other, like I have little quotes and other like random things that I think tell the story about who we are and what's important to us. So you just kind of search through Pinterest, and then it's very easy to like pin things to your board. Like when you see something you like, you can then just pin it to your own to your board, and people can see it. And then also I'm able to do it whereby if people can, it's a way where if you click on a product that came from my website, it can show you if it's like what the price is and if it's available. Like making Pinterest like another sales channel for me.
Nice.
Yeah,
I know of people who. I saw a case study of Pinterest was our organic traffic came primarily from Pinterest, and this is an apparel brand that is making probably close to 6 figures a month only on Pinterest traffic, organic Pinterest traffic alone.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably like one of the less tapped channels. So you just kind of have to figure out how to work it, like as with everything else. So yeah. Let me go back. Let me stop sharing. So, but yeah, so that's my board, and that's really the beginning of me trying to really define the Elisa Mama brand. Like, who are we? What do we stand for? What do we promote? Because the other thing too is when I was doing some research on this is going to be a very long podcast, and it's long, but it's a lot to say.
It's okay.
But we were going through when I was going through like part of my sort of SEO sort of effort to train, and I was doing some tests of like when I put Elisa Mama in, when I search for Elisa Mama, what comes up in the SRP, whatever it's called, SERP.
Search results, SERP.
Yeah, exactly. See, I'm not using
search engine ranking pages or rank.
Yeah,
pages or
exactly.
Something like that. I forget.
I didn't like what I saw. Like what came up under Elisa Mama was like, okay, what are we about? We're an apparel brand that creates clothes, blah blah blah. Like it's just like there was nothing exciting about that to me. It's just very like. Let's stand out, but really it's like if I had things like we are about like fun, positivity, kindness, doing good, that's the message we're sort of encouraging for little girls, and then we're doing that through our apparel, and this is our apparel. It's different from like we're an apparel brand that create blah, 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 like who cares,
yeah, exactly.
What are we about, so I'm like I don't really like the way we come out. Like I want to come out like and it's maybe partly my personality too, because like that's sort of things that like motivate me. So and I want our brand to be about. So anyway, so that's what I'm working on. But the question I did have for you, because I've been thinking about that as well, is while I want to present this message for I want to put this out there as what we're about, I also have to be cognizant about who is actually making the purchases,
Yes.
which are moms.
That's
So
the
how
tribe
do
that
I-
you have to make.
Exactly. So how do I balance that? Like, how do I reach moms, but at the same time spread the message of, what we're about, like the Elisa Mama kid message? Like, what do I do?
You
Do you
can
have any insights?
you can do both. So one of the biggest things that I would do, because I don't know your market too well, is I would look at brands that do the similar thing. Their
There
target
are
market,
none.
there are. I bet you if I could go into it and funnel hack probably like 3 or 5 different companies. This is basically what I do. If when I'm doing research for a client is I would look for their main different keywords, their industries, then I would look at similar companies, even if there's no direct competitors that are doing it, similar companies. There's going to be children's clothing brands that are probably going to be doing this in different markets. Or it could be towards baby food. It could be towards, like the Johnson & Johnson shampoo for babies. That's like promoting for like happy kids, happy babies. I think that's one of their taglines or something. But it's targeting towards the moms. How are they building the community around their moms, and how's the advertising? You could check out Facebook groups, sign up for all the email marketing newsletters to see how they're trying to build it. I know for other people, what they do is it's inside their email sequences basically. So one of the email sequences would be, first email would be what types of kids, would be what the brand is trying to achieve with the Lisa Mama kids, right? The next one would talk about the mom behind the scenes, giving props to the mom, helping the mom out, giving tips for the mom during COVID-19. That could be another piece of content. And then talking about how you're building a community with the Lisa Mama mom. Who is the Lisa Mama mom? And then defining that community, that tribe, and then thinking about how to create that type of movement. What would they stand up for? What are they excited about? Who are they? What do they identify with? What makes them tick, and what makes them want to buy these clothes for their kids, and also be part of the brand itself? Because there's going to be like soccer moms, there's going to be beauty pageant moms. There's a way that those different markets are targeting and creating this crazy brand loyalty. It's now, how do I take, like, because passion beauty pageant moms are some of the most dedicated moms out there. But how do you take that in a healthier way and apply it to your business? And then that's where I would start. I would start with like looking at that, looking at the leaders, and then how can I start applying that same tribe and message? And one of the ways that you do that with your personal brand, so this goes just how you're building your personal brand is what do I stand for? What do I not stand for? It's by being polarizing that you get people that will hate you, but at the same time, there's gonna be a lot of brand evangelists that love you because you stand for something. And even if you think that standing up for this and disagreeing with that isn't that big of a deal, some people will hate you just for having a business. That's just like one of the biggest things. Some people will hate you for just liking fashion because they're minimalists, right? It's what do I stand for, and building a common enemy too. So this was something we do in marketing, is like we throw rocks at our enemies. So for some businesses I've seen where it's like throw rocks at mediocrity. I used to do that all the time. It's like fuck mediocrity. I gotta censor that later. but that yeah, for podcasts. But that was one of it. If we, inside the entrepreneurs with jobs, or actually not, screw the 9-to-5 jobs, the common enemy would be your job. Not for us, because we're actually like promoting still doing well in your job and giving back and being a rock star while still building your business. But for others, they actually paint the picture of your corporate giant who doesn't care about you and your team and the boss that you hate and living in this cubicle nation. That's the enemy. So you have to find out who your enemies are, what your beliefs are, and what you stand for. And then once you can start developing that and like having like this like mission statement, like this is like my banner, my flag that people will follow me, my tribe will follow me, you can start to figure out who of your Lisa Mama moms, how to build that audience. And then now you just start bringing that message out in all the stuff that you do.
That's you make a very your point is very valid. And, to be honest, I don't think I have been as clear. I mean, I know what it is to me inside of me, but I don't think I've been as clear about putting that message out there, or putting that identity out there. Because right now, because my focus is just being, trying to grow, I do find myself sometimes trying to cater to like whatever I'm hearing in that moment. Like, for instance, like I personally, the reality is, Elisa Mama is about positivity. It's about doing good. It's about not taking anything for granted. It's, being appreciative of what you have and, helping. But, there are people, and many people that do follow Elisa Mama and who are really engaged are about that life. But, every so often I would have like a straight person who would come on and like, say something that's sort of to the contrary. But I have not been as good as like, sort of like, maybe not necessarily like shutting it down, but like still standing up for what we're about, like making it clear that, well, I respect your feeling, but this is, in this space, this is what we stand for, and this is who we are. Yeah. So I think it's a good I appreciate that sort of reminder, and I think I need to now start becoming very, very clear and unapologetic about standing for who we are as a brand.
Yes.
And
that's where people will love you.
Exactly. There will be people who will fall off, and that's fine. They're not part of our tribe. But then the people who are about this life will be all about it, and they will know that they can come here and get content that feeds their soul, or like appeals to them, and then they will be the brand evangelists and the brand ambassadors. So, and I mean, there are already some, and I already see it, and I think I need to start like continue to cater to them, because that's who we are. That's what we're about. So yeah, that's a I guess an awareness that has come to me this week, is just really been working hard about really defining that brand identity, and making sure that everywhere in every channel, you don't question it. This is who we are. This is who we are, and this is what we're about. So I did open up a Facebook group. I did set it up. So I also did that this week. I didn't start to invite people on yet, because I wanted to make sure that I have like clarity around how I'm going to be managing it. I don't want to just like start it and then like not manage it. So I want to make sure that I'm sort of prepared for that. But I'd like to do it in the next week or so. So but yeah.
Yeah, an easy way to look is to join other Facebook, like really big Facebook groups, because they'll have like community rules, and then it's easy just to take that, copy and paste it, and just start adjust. Don't plagiarize it, but just change it to what you need. Yeah.
I'll update every other word.
Yeah, so it doesn't get the algorithm.
I'll find a synonym.
Alt F7 saved me in like high school.
So but yeah, so that's what's been going on. But I like I said, ultimately, like when I look at these brands who are like killing it, it's beyond the freaking product. They can sell anything to you, and it's all about the community and the air they build around their brand. So I'm gonna keep working on that. Nice.
That's good. That's one of the most important things for your business and your brand.
Yep, because there are clothes everywhere. We know that.
Yeah.
This
is what separates you from everybody else, because clothing is basically a commodity, right? You could get similar clothing, but what makes you not a commodity is your personal brand and your brand itself, and how they care about the community and what they're supporting. That's why a lot of people support Apple. Their laptops are significantly, like, in my opinion, they're overpriced for the performance that you get. When you could pay something a little bit cheaper and get higher performance, but people support Apple for the architecture of like everything, how it connects together, but also like what they stand for as a brand.
Exactly. Like I'm telling you, if you brought another product that was clearly better than an Apple, the fact that it's not an Apple, people would rather still go for an Apple product versus this other brand, this no-name brand that was supposedly better.
Yeah.
Because the brand elitist value is so strong. Yeah.
They're elitist. Apple elitist for any brand. They're just always going to be elitist evangelists. That's what you want to create. But then you want the people who are like, they support your brand no matter what.
And that's what, I mean, I feel like, I'm really convinced that I can do that with the Lisa Mama, because I mean, we're great. I mean, I'm just saying, like, our clothes are awesome, and then we're doing good. Like, come on, you want your kid in that, like, I'm just saying, and we're fun and happy, and you want to be a part of this club. So
yeah, and now that's the message that you have to keep pushing out there now.
yes, I got this.
You got this.
So I just need a brand manager. I need a brand. I was thinking about that. I was like, I feel like I wish I could afford someone like that can help me, like help give me my brand, like, tools, right? Like, I need to redo my logo, because I feel like my logo does not fully, like, capture the essence of what.
Encompass it, yeah.
I don't think it captures the essence of what we're about. Like, I don't think so. So I need, like, I need a logo that really shows that. I need to, like, know, like, what my colors are. Like, okay, these are the 4 or 5 colors of the Lisa Mama brand. So wherever you see this shade of pink or yellow, whatever, it's a Lisa Mama. I don't know. And then once I have that sort of recipe, then I can then use that across every channel. Across every channel, we'll just use that. So I feel like I think it's a worthwhile investment to sort of have that framework. It's like your recipe for your brand recipe, and then what you will have a consistent look and feel, consistent message across wherever your brand appears. So that's the thing. I feel like many companies that are like that use like sell like African prints and things like that, there's like everyone is it's just about the clothes. It's just the fabric, and that's where it starts and that's where it ends. There's like nothing special about it beyond just the product itself. So I really want to create an experience for Lisa Mama.
Mm-hmm. It should be about the experience. Like, what can you do to like add that experience that makes them open up, even with opening up their package. So one of the companies I used to work for, I freelance for, one of the things they did was, it's a subscription service, right? Every time that every new month was something new that they just added as a bonus, but they never marketed. So it could be something as like a small like doggy bowl to like a new chew toy, but they never marketed it. It would just be this little new thing. And it's just this experience that was like, oh wow, what am I gonna get next month? It's like, what are those little things that you can add to your customer experience that goes a little bit above and beyond everybody else, but it makes it so that you're not a commodity. Because when you're a commodity, you're competing on price. You're competing on price.
I don't want to compete on price.
Yeah, it's so much better.
I want to compete on the experience. I want to compete on the experience. And yeah, so God, so much to do.
There's always, the list just keeps going up.
The list, but you know what? I mean, like we've talked about, you listen to some of our past episodes, and we're talking about, what we wanted to do back then, and then you look, one's already like, you've already done that, and now past that. So as long as we keep like, marching forward and keep working at it, and you'll keep making progress, and baby steps, but we'll keep advancing and doing the damn thing.
Yeah, do the damn thing. Enjoy the process. That's
yeah,
like
I'm actually. Oh, enjoy. Oh, yes.
Enjoy like however you want to enjoy that. Yeah, and find what like motivates you.
And remember what we said about like, sometimes you're like you're chasing the success, and like you forget to really appreciate the days of humble beginning. Like, it's never gonna get easier than now. It's only as you attain more success, it's gonna get harder. It's gonna get more complex. There's no, like, I think I said, it's a mecca. It's an illusion. Like, even if the more successful you get, the more the stakes get higher. It's gonna get more cumbersome. So like, you need to appreciate and enjoy and savor this moment where the stakes are low. Because if you make a mistake, you learn, you bounce back, and you go on. Versus you're like a, big shot. You have a staff of like 100, and then like everything's on you. You couldn't afford a misstep. It's like, that's scary. So yeah, I am enjoying learning and like, just figuring things out, and yeah, it's fun. It's exciting. So, but anyway, I was going to say, kind of like, as I figure out my brand, even this room I'm in, this is like my sort of like my office / my kids' room. I'm going to paint it. once I figure out the Lisa Mama colors, I'm gonna paint the
Are you gonna
shrimp
paint
or
it the
have
Lisa
something.
Mama brand?
I'm painting the Lisa Mama brand. When I start having like all my interviews and like my podcasts and all these things, it'll like also help reinforce my brand sort of message. So stay tuned.
Oh, nice. So yeah, I just
Um,
bought lights on for YouTube. So since I'm gonna
oh,
create more content, I'm already looking into investing in a nicer camera, and then I also put like backlighting my background. I'll talk
I'll
about
check
this
you
more in
out.
like the tips and other things I'm learning. But yeah, that was like basically some of the stuff I was looking at.
No, might as well go into it. I've already like.
It was okay. It's better if it's just a meshed podcast.
I think it's a meshed podcast. I think it is. Yeah. I mean, I'm just glad that I actually like got to doing stuff for
Oh, nice.
finally. So,
That's
but
good.
yeah, and I know I've already shared all my tips and everything. My tip and my tips. I've given it all out. So yeah.
Yeah. I think it's better when it just naturally flows like this anyways.
Yeah. So that's my story. What are you gonna be? What do you have in the pipeline for next week?
Next week.
Mm-hmm.
So for the pipeline for next week, I don't know if this is enough time, but at least for the next 2 weeks, is going to use one of the ad strategies that I've learned a long time ago. It was from this guy was the guy who did media buying for some of the biggest like personal brands, Jason Capital, a lot of some of the people in War Room. So digital marketer. I don't know exactly who he's done the ads for, but he's basically, from what I remember, if my memory serves me correct, he's basically done $100 million in ad spend and
Wow.
returned a significant amount for his clients. So this is
Um,
one of his strategies, is basically you solve a pain point, you have a belief, and then it's just regular content. Like could be everyday content. And first you solve a major problem that your audience has. And I wish I knew who this guy was, but it's just in my notebook somewhere, and I don't even know if I wrote down his name. So I have no idea who this is. I just saw him at a Jason Capital event a long time ago. So it's solve one major pain point, or actually it was 7. He did 7, but I'm only doing one major pain point. Then from there, anyone who's watched over 50%, you retarget, and then you retarget them with a major belief that could be controversial, that you believe in, that a lot of that other people may not believe in, but your audience stands up for. So this could be like, so this is an extreme. So I saw this at a Billie Jean convention, one of the best talks I've seen on paid advertising. He was like, did this exercise where it's, okay, I want you need to make your ads more compelling, because a lot of you are just doing the same thing and it's really boring. You need to be able to stand up for something. And he had people just stand up and get in partners and have that one person say, I don't believe in God. And he's like, and then the other person said, Trump is the best president. Those are two very controversial, polarizing beliefs. But if you stand on one side or the other,
you'll get people will like flock to you.
People will love you. And that's what the belief needs to be. It needs to be one that you stand for, that you believe in 100%, that your audience loves you for. But there's going to be significant people who don't agree with you. But
and you know what? If people are not disagreeing with you enough, then maybe your message is not clear enough.
yeah, and you're not polarizing enough. You're not standing up
enough.
And you're not
because
building.
It's equal on both sides. Like, they're gonna hate you and they're gonna love you. If enough people don't hate you, then enough people don't love you.
Exactly. Even in dating, when we were giving advice, you have to be polarizing, because if you're just like this mediocre nice guy, you're just like,
people don't like that.
You don't stand out. Yeah. You need to be able to flirt. You need to be able to take some risks. Like, you're gonna turn off some people, but you're gonna find girls or guys that love you because of your personality.
Exactly. Yeah. That is so true. But it's funny. We're so conditioned to wanting to please everybody. You feel like you want to just, be liked by everybody, and and you can't be that way. You need people. You need people that you need to be able to repel certain people to attract others.
Yeah, because then you're being 100% your own personality. You have your own strengths, you have your own weaknesses. And obviously, there's going to be a lot of people who don't like you for that, but there's going to be people who do love you for that. And it's being
True.
willing to stand up to that judgment and be okay with that. Just so that you
savor
can
the
serve.
judgment because you
Yeah,
know you're
savor it.
winning.
I remember my friends on our dating podcast, we used to always say, haters just make you stronger.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's like the basic recipe is if they don't hate you, they don't love you. You know, so like seriously, like if people, because remember that one time I was talking when this whole thing happened, and I was like, and you should have told me this back then because you didn't tell me. When this whole corona thing happened, because you know what I'm about. I'm all about, because like I've seen life in both sides. I mean,
Yeah.
what we complain about is like nothing to many people in other parts of the world. I mean, look.
Oh yeah, in the Philippines, Nigeria, yeah, especially.
Yeah, they can't afford to eat in these places. So it's like the things that we complain and whine about is like in the grand scheme of things, it's luxury for many, many other people.
Yeah.
And that's who I am, and that's what I believe in, and that's really my message. And that's part of why we're doing what we're doing. And so after the whole thing happened, you know, I did have messages around, you know, let's put things in perspective. Let's you know, let's not just like be down on ourselves, blah blah blah. Let's take advantage of this opportunity and whatever. And most people are like about that. And then every so often I get like a, you know, a straight person be like, well, no, life sucks, blah blah blah. And it's and I find myself trying to cater to that person. Whereas I should just really just hear it, but then
yeah.
Okay, it's what
you
it
have
is.
empathy. You respect where they're coming from because they're probably in a bad place for them to be able to go on social media to say something like that. And to even be like really a negative and to attack you personally, they have to be in a really bad place. So you just have to have empathy and just respect for where they're coming from, and yeah, just leave it at that.
Leave it at that. Not let that change my message, because there are people who my message resonates with, who are about this life and who get it and who support it. So it's like just trying to like, I think at the end of the day, you just have to have your like your manifesto that you go by. So even when you get into a point where, you know, things might get a little emotional, you can refer back to that. Like, this is what we stand for. This is what we're about, and this is the message we're going to put out. So,
that's the word I was looking for earlier. What I was pausing earlier was manifesto. It's
you're welcome.
Brand manifesto. I couldn't figure. I was like, I was pausing and I was like, what is that word? And
you're welcome.
Now I know.
I can't speak English, but I know English.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's I guess the lesson for all of us. We'll keep figuring it out, but this whole marketing life is gonna do me in. But I'm committed. I am super committed to like learning everything, like my SEO stuff and like all the brand marketing crap. I'm gonna learn it all. So I'm committed.
You got to until you have the luxury to hire out, but until then you have to learn everything. There's no way.
Sorry, I feel like that's where a lot of small businesses probably like, that's sort of what separates the great from the mediocre. Because I feel like most people don't have the time or the patience to learn about SEO, marketing, updating your meta description and your, you know,
writing headlines.
Writing headlines, like
keyword research.
Most people don't have the time to do all that stuff. Like it's not fun, and it's like it's also borderline. It's technical too to some extent, and it's like most people don't want to do that. Like how many people are really going to take the time to try to learn all of that? Most people don't do that, and because if you are unable to master that, your web presence becomes very minimal. Like you are unable to get your message out there. People can't find you online, you know, and no matter how great your product is, your success is only gonna be at a certain level. So unless you're able to master that, or unless you're able to find another means to get your word out there, maybe you get like some kind of like something happens, maybe you go viral through like some sort of something, or like maybe some media person carries you and like, you know, you get popular. Or you have a lot of money, able to hire somebody to help you get your message out there. Outside of that, like I don't know if there's any way where you can like by accident gain success. Like how else can your brand become like, can your brand explode? Like how else? Like what are the ways? Like if I don't know. Like
yeah, even with that, going viral, there's a drop off. If you don't have if you don't have the structure in place, you have to keep relying on going viral. But if you can't get viral again, your business dies. It's not a sustainable model. And going off that too, luck is just opportunity meets being prepared.
Preparation.
Preparation.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to do, is you need to be able to put yourself in so many situations where you can take advantage of being lucky, but it's because you put in a lot of the work. Like some people could say that you were lucky because of your Voyage LA article and Ryan Seacrest saw it, but that's just being prepared and taking your shot and consistently putting in the work, because you never know what opportunities will you get based off of the actions that you're taking right now. You
never
could go
know.
viral next week, but then is that going to be a sustainable business model going for the future?
You can't. I mean, it's like thunder, like lightning striking. Like that's that's the odds of going viral. So yeah. What are the odds of anyone going viral?
And it's the same thing with lottery winners losing a lot of their money. Most lottery winners losing most of their money because they don't know how to invest and knowing how to like handle their money and all their situation. It's being prepared and having a good foundation so that this is going to be something long term. And going viral is just an added boost for any of the content that you create.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And really, when you start to, hear all these stories of all these people who do attain success, most people, they have to do the hard work. Like they had to do the grunt work, or grunt work, I think that's what it's called. They had to, you have to do something. You're either going to have to be someone who's like, whatever, maybe you have a product that you can go like get venture capitalists to like come like, pump in a bunch of money and then like help you hire the right people to help you get your word out. Or you're going to have to like really learn how to market your product, or maybe, like I said, get it picked up by like the New York freaking Times or something. And like, or like maybe with the Tom shoes, he had an article by LA Times. I think it's who like carry their story. And then that's what kind of like accelerated their growth. But outside of that, like, and I think that's why many small businesses just, fail, is doing the work that your business requires to get to the next level. Like most people are going to be at like some sort of like medium level where you just kind of like, you do what comes natural to you. You create a good product. You try to like advertise through the channels that, come natural to you. But then it's like, in order to really get to that next level of success, like you're gonna have to be radical.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to like, do the damn thing. You're gonna have to like, go above and beyond what comes natural. And so like for me now, going above and beyond what comes natural is like doing this damn freaking SEO, like listen to all this damn podcast, kind of, do all this back end crap. This does not come natural. I don't like it, but I know that the effort will pay off. Like I feel it. So like, another reason why I'm so convinced. God, I have so much to say today. I don't know what is going on.
That's because you're super productive this week. That's why.
So I read an article about this company. It's a hair extension company that is like freaking like killing it like crazy. They have like a monthly revenue, or maybe prior to the whole corona, of like more than $500,000 monthly revenue. The beauty supply business, or the beauty business, it's something that like, first of all, the beauty business is a business that is largely supported by Black people, African Americans, right? But it's unfortunate that the businesses that are successful are usually like run by like Asians or whoever else. So this particular brand is run by a white guy, the most successful hair extension business, out there right now. And I was listening to a story and like, I'm like, how did he like, what's the thing that he did? Like, how did he like gain success? This guy, he said the one thing he did from the start was really, I think that's what triggered me to start like getting serious about like my marketing and stuff. It's because he said the one thing he did and he committed to from the very start was understanding all the algorithms. How do you say it? Algorithms?
Yeah, you got it.
The struggle there, I'm telling you. He learned all the algorithms. He, all the back end, the SEO stuff. He's the one who reminded me about Neil Patel. That's one of the podcasts that he listens to, and he said he really invested time and effort into learning about that, and that's what he attributes his success to. Because there's nothing about them that's so special. They're like just a regular hair supply company, but they're incredibly successful, like miles ahead of any competitors. and that's what they did. And I think that that's where many businesses fall short, because we don't have the time or the energy or maybe the expertise to really learn and understand all those sort of like back end technical marketing stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And a lot of people are limited by their beliefs that they're not technical, they can't understand code, they can't learn, they don't have time, they don't want to pay a lot of money to learn, when you could Google whatever you want to learn, how to Google, search a bunch of the top page results, look up social media, go on YouTube, you'll find all the resources you need to start, and then you just learn from experience from there. And if you want to expand from there, go to some of the experts that you like and that have the results of like actually getting results for your type of business, your result, and go to those events that actually have high testimonials that get results, not events that just make you feel good, but actually get you results.
True. And even now with this whole Corona thing going on, like e-commerce is going to be bigger than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Like people are not going to be going to brick and mortar stores anymore. And so honestly, like now is the time. If you do nothing with your time, really master how to be a master of the e-commerce game, of which, you know, it's not just your product, because people don't know about you. Your product is as good as like crap. Like, but making people know that you even exist and figuring out, oh my kid, leave my and, you know, and figuring out how to build that presence. You know, there's so many people in the world, even in the United States, even in California, there's so many people out there.
Even in our cities, there's
Exactly.
so many people in just our city alone.
People. You know, so it's like, God, if we can only figure out how to reach these people, like the rest is like, I mean, so right now it's more important than any time to like really master it and really take the time to learn. I don't think we can say it in any other way. I'm preaching to myself.
Yeah. Preaching to the choir.
Mm-hmm.
And going off SEO too, I met a girl who has her own, I don't know if it's hair extensions, but it's something within beauty. She has one of the leading shops for something related to hair when she created her Shopify account, and she just did basic SEO at that time. And then now she just ranks for first page Google, and that's how she gets all her her traffic. And it's an 8-figure business.
Look at that
business. Yeah.
Look at
Brendan
that.
Bouchard.
Oh, I'm ready to like go. I'm ready right now. I need to get off of this because I need to go work on my SEO.
SEO is a long-term game though. Just for anyone listening, yeah. For anybody listening, SEO is a long-term game.
Are you trying to be in a business for a year? Is your goal to do this for a year and then to wrap it up? No, we're in this for the long haul. So like regardless of how long, this is something that's going to pay off, you know. So it's like put in the work. Like I'd rather bear down, put in the work, and then know that it will then pay off going forward. So it's like, I mean, I don't care how long it's going to take. Like I'm in this for the long haul. So bring it. Like let's do this. And I'm kind of bummed because I feel like when I was building my website, if I had known about all these things, like even like as simple as your pictures, like naming them appropriately, put in those meta descriptions in there. Like I didn't know how to do all
alt
that.
Description so they can research better.
Yeah, I have like numbers like IMG, JPG. Like I didn't know I had to like, you know, like put the right terms and the right descriptions on there. So now I have to go back. It's on my to-do list to go back and like go through every visual on my website and like rename them properly, tag them properly to increase the searchability or whatever.
Yeah. So you got to go in there, change the title, and then change the alt title tag. That's basic for anyone who's listening that wants the technical aspect of it. Then you put your brand in there, you put in any keywords that they're searching for, so that if anyone's searching on Google Images, they'll see this. Like say like you're looking for like children's clothes, blue dress or whatever. You have those keywords in there, so that when they search inside Google search image, and then they actually click on that image, it takes them back to your website. So that's what Fisayo is talking about right now.
Exactly. So I've made it, you know, it's on my list of things to do. To go back and like update all my images, you know, for all my pages, put meta descriptions in there, and just be very thoughtful about, you know, the terms I'm using. So making sure that there are things that people are searching for and stuff like that. So there are things that we can do. Use
Ubersuggest. So I never told you this, but Ubersuggest with the keyword tool that I use is Neil Patel's Ubersuggest. Yeah, is Neil Patel's tool. It's a free. It used to be completely free until he was hemorrhaging money, and he was losing like $10,000. No, he was losing a lot of money. I think he was losing a lot of money. Now most of it's behind a paid wall, but still within like the first page results, you get a lot of free content that'll help your business that is paid for other tools. So I use that for keyword research and looking at my SEO stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in my trusty Panda notebook. Yeah.
Is that Panda Planner?
It's not a planner. It's just a little.
The Panda.
Actually, it's my daughter. Actually, got it for her birthday, but it's coming in handy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna make a note of that.
Yeah, and then for SEO, that's actually one of the things that I'll be dedicating a lot of time to, because one of the things is my strengths is writing. So eventually,
you won't write for me.
Yeah, well, because it takes a long time for me to write. Yeah, so
clearly it doesn't sound like a strength. It doesn't sound like a strength to me then.
Well, that's the problem. It's a strength, but it's a labor of love. So it's a stressful strength.
Fine.
Yeah, I get people who compliment me on my writing, and I can write really good copy. It just takes me forever to write, or it doesn't take me forever. It's just stressful.
No, I understand. Keep writing for entrepreneurs with jobs. That's cool.
Yeah, I'll keep hustling for this though. Don't worry.
Keep hustling. Eventually, it'll be like the back end way. Eventually, it'll come to me somehow.
Don't worry. You're building your personal brand here, and then if anyone has children, they're gonna go buy your clothes.
Yeah, exactly. Because they know I'm legit, so they'll believe anything else I have to tell.
Yeah, it's because we're giving so much value here that people want to support in general.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we're telling our story, giving all our tips. So.
Yeah, and we're failing and making mistakes so that hopefully they don't have to go through the same mistakes.
Exactly. So if you wanted to build your website, like I said, don't let put some random IMG, JPG titles in there. Get it right the first time. So you don't have to do it over again like I do. So. Alrighty then. So for me, what am I going to do?
Oh, wait. We didn't finish. We sidetracked.
I don't know.
Okay, wait, hold on. So I'll wrap it up really quick. First is major pain point, then major belief. Then the third one is regular everyday content. So it could be just anything retargeting. And then he has 30 regular pieces of content for whoever client he's serving. And then he just keeps retargeting people who've gone through the first few. So they've seen 50% of any of the 7 pain point videos. Then he calls it the 10 commandment videos, which is your beliefs. 50% of any of those, then he retargets 30 videos of just like everyday content, but going to like a sales page. Like, so it's just gonna be everyday content, like giving tips or following everyday like reality, like content TV, like, like how IGTV is or Instagram, and then retargeting, but there's like a sales message inside each of those posts. And then that's what actually gets people back to go to the sales page. So I'm going to start experimenting with that, but for entrepreneurs with jobs, I don't think I'll have enough time to test it going into our event, because I think it at least has a 2-week lead time, because you need to get the 50%, or maybe even have more than that. I'll be testing and seeing. But yeah, I think paid ads on top of SEO and organic is going to be one of the biggest drivers for learning how to build a business.
Awesome. And for me, what am I going to be doing? I'm going to keep making my way down my to-do list. I am, I'm going to keep doing the PR outreach. I'm going to keep doing that. Also, I'm going to continue to identify other target potential podcasts that I can come on. So I'm gonna keep and then as I identify them, I'll do the outreach. And just in case for anyone who wants to do the same thing too, the one thing that's really important that I'm sure you already know this, but don't fall into the trap of possibly like sending like crazy generic messages that have like no relevance to the person you're trying to reach. Like people get very offended by that. Like for me,
I do too.
I don't like it. Like I'm looking for that when I get an email from people. Like I'm like looking for like any evidence to indicate that you just like are copying and pasting something to like everyone, of which I'm just a part. So like even like random like holiday greetings. Like, don't text me no freaking happy Easter if you don't like say hi Fisayo. Like, I will not respond.
Or at least put the time in to put Happy Easter, Fisayo.
Fisayo, yeah. Let me feel like you're personalizing it. So one thing I always try to do is, which is why I don't like send like a blast. Like, I want to at least make people feel like I'm not like just trying to spam them. Like, take the time to do a little bit of research about who they are, listen to their content before I do the outreach. So
Yeah.
that's
Google search them. You'll be
exactly.
surprised of how much information you can find about people by just Google searching them.
So yeah, I'm gonna continue to do that. Hopefully I get a few more. And then just continue to post online, do what I do. Yeah. And then next week, we have our second meetup event. How many people do we have RSVP'd now? I think we have like 6 or 7 or something. How many people do we have? We definitely have Vivian. I saw that she RSVP'd.
Oh, can you actually share your screen?
Yes. What do you want to see?
Go into the group and then see how many people. So we can use more visuals inside this, so people can come to my YouTube channel to view this.
All right, hold on a second. I have to make sure I can. Let me hide all my explicit.
yeah. Close those explicit.
Let me hide
NC-17 pages.
Let me hide on my explicit screen. I don't want you to get to know me on that level.
see your fetishes. One thing that I'm gonna do, I'm adding this because Fisayo is doing a lot. So, and she reminded me of her outreach. So one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna identify people I want to interview for my own YouTube channel, and start doing what we're doing here, but now create, because that's significantly easy content for me to create. I like interviewing people, doing that research, and then being able to reach their audience as well. So it's like a bunch of birds with one stone that I'm gonna just test and then start building it up.
And it's funny you mentioned that. One of the things that I learned from my extensive learnings is, even like if you have somebody else in the similar business that you're in, or sort of like a kindred spirit, you can cross promote one another. Like, put their content on your page and have them put your content on their page, and you can. I mean, say you have 2,000 followers, and they have 2,000 followers. You both can you can have people who you can get more. Is the short of it. So I know sometimes you want to be very protective of your own audience, but it's like you already have your audience. They already love you. So this is a chance to serve them more, and at the same time get exposure to their audience, to the other person's audience.
Mm-hmm.
So
a lot of people you can see as potential partners, even though some people may seem like they're competitors. You can see a lot of them as potential cross partners, unless they're like they don't resonate with your brand and you don't want to be associated with them, then you can put that in the consideration as well. But a lot of people want to help each other out.
When I think about a lot of the podcasts I listen to, a lot of the ones the newer podcasts I heard from my OG podcasts, like people who came on as guest speakers, I end up like, oh, let me go look into that person. And if they have a podcast or they have a page, I then follow them, or I sign up for their podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's not take away from my original one. I still listen to the original one because I like them. But now it's helping build my awareness about the other people. So anyway, back to this. So this is our event page. I hope you can see it.
May 2nd, 4:00 p.m. Saturday.
Now we're doing Hangouts. We've learned from Zoom. Don't let that happen again. Jeff's gonna be talking about unstoppable digital marketing strategy while working full time. And I'm going to be talking about how to stay sane, according to Jeff, while building a business and being a corporate rock star and spending time with family. Okay. I guess I will be. Let's see. Yeah, we have 6. So we need to promote this. It's because the 6 includes you and I. So technically we have 4.
We have 4. And then Meetup has a show up rate about 30 to 50%. So then we probably.
Harriet came last time though. Harriet was on last time. Brian, new guy. Vivian is a regular. Kate, I new. So yeah. How do we get more people to learn about our event? What do we do?
What's the short-term hustle for this?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
see. That's Vivian. Whatever. Oh yeah, she messaged me. See, this is after the first one.
Oh,
She was
nice.
bummed and she wants to finish hearing it. See? So you see, she was probably the only person that was like relevant, the only what's it called? The only true audience, like our true target. She was probably the only one who really we were targeting. She fit the profile of the people we were targeting. And she clearly found value in it. So it's like kind of validating what we're doing. I mean, the other folks, they have their own agenda, as we know. But yeah, she was the one person who like truly has a job, has a full-time hustle, trying to grow it, and she found value in what we're doing. So.
And she wanted to come back.
She wants to come back, yeah. And she came on. She's now signed up to our Facebook. So yeah. I guess we're doing something right, even if it's from one person.
Yeah, and that, like we said, that one person could like makes a difference in their life. Then that's all that matters.
It's worth it. It's worth it. Yeah. So.
Because I remember a lot of people get caught up with like the views,
the numbers.
Like if they look at their YouTube video and they're like, oh, only 2 people saw it, but you never know who those 2 people are. And if you're changing like one person's life, that's massive.
And they always say, like, if you only have like maybe 100 followers or whatever, like serve those 100 followers like your life depends on it. Like really serve them, pour into them, cater to them. Like when you do that, you will continue to attract other people like them. So if you feel like, what's the big deal? I don't really care. I'm waiting for me to have 1,000 followers. No, it's not going to happen. Like, why would they want to come to you? Like, what's appealing about you? But if they see that you're really offering value, you know, they will come. So don't let the numbers fool you. Keep doing what it is you need to do.
Yeah.
Even if it's a couple people.
Yeah, keep doing it. Keep marketing yourself. Keep getting your message and your vision out there. Because if nobody hears it, then no one's gonna know. That's like that's the biggest thing.
Is only as good as the marketing.
Yeah.
Oh God! All this
what is that? What is that quote? If a tree falls in the forest and no one is there to hear it, does it make a sound?
No, that's true. That's true.
Does it make a sound?
Does it make a sound? That's true.
Well, you won't know because you weren't there.
That's true. Today's like the marketing like episode, I think, or I don't know.
Oh, one tip, or actually not one tip. One thing I'm gonna experiment on is, you know how like we have this long podcast. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna experiment with making micro content on the podcast platforms as well. So I've seen other people doing this. So I'll take this as a full episode. Then we have a lot of really good segments. So like the segment where Fisayo gives advice on how to help people, and then your story of helping people in Nigeria during COVID-19, taking that section, making that its own episode. Then taking all these little pieces for SEO, personal branding, make those personal episodes for people who are searching for that content. Because we're growing, but we're not growing as fast as we used to, and we don't have as much SEO friendly search terms. So I'm going to start taking out little pieces to see if this will help boost our search engine optimization for podcasts specifically. So I just thought of that when you were talking about your SEO and all the other stuff. I was like, okay.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. I mean, you know, we'll get there. We'll get there. And if for nothing, this is our little weekly therapy session. So
yeah, this is our business therapy.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know, it's funny because I think I was telling my husband, like, I was just like, oh my God, like, you know, I like to talk. Like I'm sure Jeff knows that, and anyone that knows me knows I like to talk, you know. And I think that's one of the values that this channel offers me is just time to, you know, chance to offload, because you know, it's hard. Like I have too many ideas and too many things that's happening, and like too many things I'm doing. Like this week was like a week where I really needed to talk. Like I needed to have this meeting so I could like offload. So how did I get here? I don't know. What was I trying to say? I've lost my train of thought.
Was it to offload your cognitive load to just be able to be fresh? Or is it to have a podcast where you have all your ideas so that you can just talk out everything, and then when you look back you can actually, oh, I forgot to do that, haven't done that, I'm going to do that next. Because that's happened to me. Happened to me.
Well, I mean, yes, I mean, but the reality, I mean, it's more so just to get it out there, just to like walk through my thoughts, like just like get my thoughts out and kind of like.
So it's easier to structure.
It's kind of like when I was talking about the like my what do I call that now? Give me a term to call this, my new like the Elisama like thing, the Jana Sequoia of Elisama, like the essence. Like what do I call that? Like who are we? Like what was there a term for that?
There isn't a term for it. I've heard people saying like you want your brand manifesto, but what you should do, and this is what a lot of brands do, is they brand it. They come up with their own term for what that is, and then now that becomes the term that their community uses. So if you see with a lot of
Lisa Mama isms.
Yeah, it could be at least a Mama isms. It's whatever you want to brand it, you can brainstorm, you can start trying out different things, see what resonates, and then just go with that. Because there's a lot of brands that have their own words, their own terminology, their own like slang, and their whole audience uses it, and then that ties them to that brand, and that's how they become like raving fans. It's now, instead of just making it a generic term that everyone else uses, make it brand it to something that is only specific to Lisa Mama.
Let's see. Okay. I'll think about it. But yeah, either way, the focus of like this next chapter, kind of like the whole, Corona opportunity is really marketing, branding. So keep doing that.
That's mine. Personal branding, ads. that's what I'm figuring out right now.
Yeah. Are you gonna try to go on other like do the whole podcast guests?
I think I'm gonna do that eventually, but when I have a product to sell. When I don't have a product to sell, like getting myself out there, I'm gonna get additional followers, but they're not gonna really be towards anything. So I think I'm gonna interview people, and then just start to build out that audience just to get that, because it's gonna let me network with those people ahead of time before I even have a product. So that's why I'm gonna start doing this now, and then I can get followers from their followers if when they promote it to their social media, so I can start building my audience at the same time. But if I were to go on someone else's podcast, unless someone asked me, I do it. I would.
You're not gonna hustle for it right now.
Yeah, because when you go on someone's podcast, okay, so here's a tip: when you go on podcasts, you want to have an Elisa Mama special page dedicated to those listeners only. Would you give off a bonus, maybe a special discount, maybe you do whatever it is specifically for that audience. So when you go, I'm going to go on this dating update podcast, and now I'm going to be talking about whatever you decide on the episode. Maybe it's a free open episode, but if they tell you what the episode's about, say it's on like online dating profiles, I'm going to beforehand create a special page about all the free resources I can create for them and to give as bonuses. And what this does is that it makes them want to go get all those free bonuses. And then now you can leave your social media there. You can have them opt in. You can do a bunch of different things with it of how you want to present the bonuses, and then get them onto your email address, or just give them the bonuses and then have your social media on the same page. However you want to do it, depending on how aggressive you want to be with capturing emails. But that's one of the ways of being able to get audiences to actually take action when they're listening to you on the podcast, is you just create bonus content that they actually care about.
In my case, it's gonna be like a discount code. I'm gonna give them like some discount code, for that podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That way, then they'll go to the site to use it.
Yeah, but if you're also going on a business podcast, you can create business resources too. So like, say you're going on a business podcast, these are the tools that have helped you significantly. Create like a PDF, and then these are the tools, and then it's like, okay, this is my cheat sheet of my tools that I use consistently, and then just leave it on this page. I created a page specifically only for this whatever podcast names listeners. Just go over there and check it out. It's there for free. I just wanted to provide that, and then all my social media is there if you want to connect with me.
I like that one.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, not just because it's like self-serving. I do like to share things that I've run into, and I think, especially as I'm going to start doing this crusade of my personal brand and going out there, like doing all the interviews, I think people will find it useful. Where I can these are the things that I found useful. And if you like me and you trust me, then you might be willing to explore these things that I'm suggesting to you too. And I think it's a win-win.
Mm-hmm. It's a win-win. And if you want to cement it even more, you could tell a little story of just one of the tools. Like if you're sharing the tips within the podcast, and then you can share a story of like something that really helped you out, adds massive value. And then that is the perfect transition for you. It's like, oh, I created a special page for everybody here just to make it easier for you to get that tool. And then for any other tool, for all these other tools that have helped me significantly.
Okay. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. My to-do list. Yeah, I don't like to write, but I don't know. It's like I need to write now. Like it's the only way. Yeah. So, okay. Well, thank you very much, Jeff. So the next time we meet, I would have already done my podcast. So.
Oh, nice. That's gonna be exciting.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't wait until I look back at this for very first podcast, and of course I would have done like a bunch after this. So, and they're like, oh, this was the very first one.
You've already done a lot from the first podcast.
True. Oh, the first one was before
you didn't even have a website. You didn't have Shopify. Oh! Remember?
This is right. I didn't have the website when we started.
No, that was in like November.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've whined and kicked and screamed, but I've been doing everything since then. Have the website. Really proud of it. Like I'm so happy with that website. Like I'm not even going to segue, but yeah, I'm glad I did it.
We'll save it for next time.
That's it. That's all I have to say. So, but yeah, I think this. I don't think I have any. I think I've shared enough. Like I have nothing else for you guys today. I'm done. I am spent. I have said enough, giving you all the tips, everything. So, go make something. This
was beyond the tip.
you got the whole thing. So but yeah, I'm tipped out for today, maybe even next week. So but yeah, so this was good. I'm glad we're both making progress. I'm actually on my to-do list is to do ads, so maybe I'll have some ads related updates next time we meet. We'll see. But yeah,
just boost posts. Create a custom audience first, or create a custom audience in your ad manager, and then like that fits your customer avatar, and then just start boosting posts by like $5, and then see what takes off, and then just boost that even more, and then see what happens with that, and then you can start retargeting that audience later.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. You know what's really ironic too? Sorry, this is gonna get super long, but you know what's what it is. The bulk of my audience, the bulk of my customers come from Instagram right now. Yeah. Because Instagram is where I'm at. That's where I live, and that's where, that's home for Elisa Mama right now. But then it's like, I don't know how to even create like a Facebook audience. Like I struggle. Like how do I even like creating that audience to target for boost and all that stuff? Like I don't even know how to go about it. Like it's one of my biggest.
What we can do is we can schedule out time. We could even do it during a podcast, and then I can help you just create your audience.
Maybe we do that, like what's it called, live demonstration of how to do it.
Yeah, and then I can I can walk you through how to create your audience in the ad manager.
Okay, let's do that. I think people will probably find that useful too. Yeah,
because it is overwhelming when you go inside the ad platform, because even me going into the ad platform, not having been in there for a while, it's pretty overwhelming and having to know what to do.
Yeah, but then also too, I know you're not like an Instagrammer, but I've been hearing a lot about like Insta story ads and within Insta stories as like kind of like the next frontier, like and the untapped
swipe up campaigns. But
yeah,
you need 10,000 followers for that, don't you?
No, as an ad, if you're doing an ad, I don't think you need to, or I don't know how it works, but the point is you can't put ads within Instagram stories, and not enough people are like leveraging story ads right now, from what I've heard.
Okay, why don't we do that too? Why don't we just go in and we just look at your platform, because I don't have the platform, and then we'll just go through it together, and then I'll just put my input in based on what I'm learning and based on what I've learned in other platforms, and then it'll just be an experiment.
Okay, I think that's useful.
I think that's
Yeah,
useful too. And it provides like a good visual for people to actually look at if they want to try to start doing ads.
Yeah, I think we actually should even plan to even do that maybe like once a month, like think of something that a tool people might find useful and just kind of like, walk them through it, using ourselves as an example.
Yeah, let's do that.
So,
yeah. We'll figure out a cool branded term for it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So anyway, on that note, do you think we're good to wrap up?
Yeah, I think we should wrap up.
Yeah, 2 hours after.
I'm definitely going to create a bunch of micro content from this. This is going to be good.
I'm glad I can give you all the things that you can create content off of.
Yes.
All right, Jeff. Well, this has been fun per usual. It's been real. So next week our meetup, we should probably meet up before the meetup.
Yeah, we'll do the same thing we did last time. And then we'll do like a quick recap episode right after.
Yes, we should. So alrighty then. So this has been fun. Until next time, we are entrepreneurs with jobs. Keep hustling and don't forget, do the damn thing.
I like that as an outro. So keep hustling, do the damn thing.
Yes. So
until next time.
We are entrepreneurs with jobs.
Bye.
Bye.
Cut.